Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the December 8th, 2015 Board of Selectmen's meeting. All right, so we opened our meeting at 6:30 here in the room, and then we went into executive session to discuss contracts. We are now back into regular session, and I would ask that we have a new roll call, please.
There are four selectmen present. Mr. Slavin is still recovering from major surgery. Mr. Bowen and Mr. Sullivan are also present.
All right, so missing off of the thing is our Pledge of Allegiance, but we're going to do it anyway, and if they want to get us for an open meeting violation on that, let them. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. All right, announcements, Mr. Holmes, please.
Well, it's Christmas time, and you know.
You're not going to sing, are you?
No, I'm not going to sing. We have several young people in this Christmas season that are put up in various hotels out here on Route 6, none of which is the fault of their own. Some of it's due to the economy, some of it's due to them having a little bit of bad luck. And these people are really trying to get back on their feet. So one of the issues is, we've pushed to find them jobs, and we've had some openings here in town. A couple of those people are now employed. And now, of course, they're looking to get back into an apartment. And, as I've said before, sometimes there's a stigma that comes whether you're trying to get a job or you're trying to find an apartment, and you have to put down that you live in the X Hotel on Cranberry Highway. So, it's the Christmas season. If anybody knows of anybody who has any apartments in town, small apartments, maybe 2 bedrooms, so that these young couples can get out of there. They're not on drugs. They're not bad people. They just had some bad luck is all it is. So if anybody knows of anybody who has an apartment that they're looking to rent at a reasonable rent, you just please, you can call me or call the office. I'm sure Derek and his people and our people wouldn't mind taking that kind of a phone call. And the second thing is, and I hate to go from people that are struggling to businesses, and please remember to support, especially at this time of year, our local businesses that are still open, they struggle at this time of year. And if you have some Christmas shopping to do, try to support our local folks. I know we have the big mall out there in the Walmart, but we still have the mom and pop shops that are on Main Street. We have the shops over in Onset that are open. We got a bunch down on Route 6. And so if you could consider, frequenting them and giving them some business during this season, that would be greatly appreciated. And the other thing is, I was driving through town last night on Cranberry Highway, and I spun around because I saw lights in a place that I never see lights, and I spun around, and it was the old store there where the lady did the pictures from the planes.
Yes.
And Mako Bait Shop is in there now. Really? So so it's all lit up, and I'm like, Sean, did you see that? There's lights there. What's that? Don't tell me it's another junk shop. So I turned around because it did look like that from the street. So I turned around and went back, and sure enough, it was Mako. So welcome to them. They were over the bridge there, right?
Right by the bottom of the bridge.
Yeah. So now they're officially in Wareham.
Well, they was always in Wareham.
Is that Wareham on the other side of the bridge?
They were on.
They were straddling.
They were on this side.
They were on this side.
Okay. Well, welcome to Wareham and parts of Onset. So if you're looking for Mako's Bait Shop, that's where it is. That's about it, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Mr. Titlebaum, please.
Yes. I have 3 here, I think. Let's see. First off, on Friday, December 11th, 7 to 11 p.m. at the Redmond Hall, 758 Main Street. The Jingle Bell Sock Hop. This is a benefit to help give life to Deb.com. This is hosted by the Gallery Consignment Shop. This is to benefit the consignment shop owner, Tracy Madero's sister, Deb, who was fighting essentially an incurable liver disease. This is the same disease that took Walter Payton, and this is a benefit to assist with transplant-related expenses. Once again, the Redmond Hall this Friday, February 11th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. There will be raffles, light refreshments, and a cash bar. Let's see, shifting gears to the Village Association. There's a couple of different things. Actually, there's just one. They just have a train. There's a holiday train. The 5 and 6:30 trains are sold out. This train runs to Buzzards Bay. I understand there are a few tickets left for the 3:30 train that leaves Merchants Way at 3:30 on, is it this Saturday? So, sounds like a fun thing. Again, I understand there's a few tickets left for that. And last but not least, WCTV is hosting their holiday open house on December 12th, that Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Staples will be on site to take holiday card orders. I believe they're offering a discount on that. Yes, 20% according to this flyer. And that's the WCTV headquarters at 505 Main Street. Once again, December 12th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for some fun, for some festive fun, and tour our facility. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Whiteside, please.
Yes. On December 12th, the Onset Victorian Village, Onset Bay Association will present Christmas in the Parks, starting at 11:45. Santa will arrive. All of the events will be in Onset from 12 to 3. There's going to be a talking Christmas tree, cookies, a hay ride, face painting, all sorts of good stuff, and music. So hang out there, or that's the 12th, okay? Also on the 12th, which is a Saturday, the Wareham Police Department, in conjunction with Dick Maloney Youth Foundation and other groups in town, are holding their Stuff a Cruiser toy drive event at Target and Walmart, starting at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. A couple of years ago, they had to bring 3 different cruisers because we kept filling them up, and so they are looking for unwrapped, unopened toys or gifts to just put in the cruisers for the local youth. Supermoon Records, a local record label, will hold a benefit concert for the Wareham Free Library December 11th at the First Congregational Churches Fellowship Hall. We did that one. Sacred Hearts Retreat Center, the end of Great Neck Road, is having its open house on December 13th from 1 to 5 with decorations, music, and refreshments. They have over 100 nativity scenes in the main building. And the annual VFW Christmas dinner for seniors, veterans, and people in need will be Saturday, December 19th from 2 to 5 at Dudley Brown. Please consider making donations of canned goods, clothing, sleeping bags, socks, food cards, coats, hats, gloves, and all of the donations that you choose to make can be dropped off at the VFW Wednesday through Sunday from 1 to 10 p.m. I think.
Peter, did you miss something?
Yeah, I did. On the Jingle Bell Sock Hop, where you can get tickets, you can get them at the Gallery Consignment Shop on Main Street, and there will also be a limited number available at the door the night of the event.
Okay, next up, citizens' participation. Is anybody here to speak to us this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on. All right. So tonight is renewal night. So you can hardly wait for this, but we're going to have to read a lot of license renewals, and I guess there's no pledge like the present. Could we start with the license and permits, please?
Yes, I'm going to have Speed Reader Demon here do them. I have to say that it's the first group, or the package stores. There will be a couple that.
Not quite ready.
Yeah, we're not there. Okay, excuse me, the application for one-day wine and malt liquor was not in order here, obviously. I have to tell you that it took me 7 hours to proofread this stuff. And there were several errors. Anyway,
Well, you'll have to get faster at it.
really? No, we're not gonna. No. What is it?
Yeah, that wasn't interesting. I know. Hey,
Ah, okay.
it is what it is.
All right, so,
The teacher over here would never let that go.
no, I was going nuts. I move that the Board of Selectmen authorize
Oh, this is-
bartending service of New England LLC, William Fuller, for December 8th, 2015, no, excuse me, for December 12th, 2015, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Box Mill Hall, Tyonet Village, Wareham, licensed for beer and wine.
Is that on here?
Yeah. One day.
So that's not a,
No, see,
okay, all
that's
right.
why I
It's
missed it
stuck in
too.
there, okay. All right, fine. All right, so motion made by Ms. Whiteside.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Titlebaum. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. It's unanimous, 400. Okay.
What we have in front of us, each one of these applications has been checked by myself, as well as the 2 women who work in the office. And what we thought we would do to make it easier was that we would pull the license and the ABCC license documents only to be signed. The packets have been checked, double-checked, triple-checked. They are all entirely perfect.
Agree.
Okay.
So, but I would like Mr. Titlebaum to do his fast job.
I trust you.
Ken
Okay, just a
Levy.
quick question through you to council, if I may.
Yes, sure.
Where we have these printed out and in block format, depending upon the type of the license to be issued, is it permissible to say, I move to approve all of the licenses under category C, for example, as printed in our agenda document to be included, and to include the agenda document as the exhibit to the minutes?
Yes, with your permission, Mr. Chair, absolutely. As long as you're not going to add any special conditions or requirements to any of the ones listed, you can do it in that manner.
So you just,
Okay.
but this,
If that's the case, then what I'll do is make the motion to approve in blocks at a time, and if any member has something, then I'll withdraw it so that we can go through them individually. Does that satisfy you, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, that's fine, with the exception that we have 2 that aren't ready that are in the list that you're gonna have to withdraw.
Right, and I know which ones those are.
Okay, good.
and I've already pulled them.
All right, good.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen approve the renewal of the year-round retail package goods store all alcoholic beverages licenses for the year 2016. All of the ones under category B with the exceptions of Roman numeral item number 3 and Roman numeral item number 6, as their applications are not yet complete.
Second.
All right. All right, motion made by Mr. Titlebaum, seconded by Ms. Whiteside. Is there any discussion?
Just one brief note to make.
Yeah.
This year, all of the package store owners were sent copies of the sign bylaw, and they're getting another copy of the sign bylaw with their applications. Our sign regulations require that only a small portion of windows into package stores be covered. And this is so that the police, frankly, can drive by and make sure that there isn't somebody holding a gun to a clerk or a customer's head. It's a fairly important portion of the sign bylaw, and it's something that we would respectfully ask all of our liquor stores to follow.
All right, is there any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen renew the year-round common victular all alcoholic beverages licenses for the year 2016 under category C of our agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Titlebaum, seconded by Ms. Whiteside. Is there any discussion? Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, on the question, do we also send that same letter to these folks?
I don't believe that they are so restricted under the sign bylaw, Steve. I believe the package stores are sort of an exclusive item for how much of their windows can be covered, simply because liquor stores are one of the prime places that you would want to knock off if you were a criminal.
Yeah, no, I was going more for the neon stuff.
No, they were not, sir.
They were not. Can we, well, we can do that on a later day.
Okay.
Let's make a note. of it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400.
I move that the Board of Selectmen renew the following year-round common victular wines and malt beverages licenses for the year 2016
See.
under category D.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Titlebaum, seconded by Ms. Whiteside.
Same question.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
Same question.
All right.
Answer same.
The same answer.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it is unanimous, 400.
So it's only the first group,
Yes,
Only the
sir.
first.
so I don't have to keep asking this question.
That's correct.
Right.
You can keep asking.
As long as I know what to request later.
All right. next.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen renew the following year-round club all-alcoholic beverages license for the year 2016 as listed under item E.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Titlebaum, seconded by Ms. Whiteside. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen renew the following year-round Veterans Club all-alcoholic beverages licenses for the year 2016 as listed under category F.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Titlebaum, seconded by Ms. Whiteside. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen approve the following applications of year-round liquor establishments to remain open until 2 a.m. on January 1st, 2016 for New Year's Eve parties to be held December 31st, 2015, under the provisions of Chapter 138 of the General Laws. These two establishments, as they are listed under category G.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Titlebaum, seconded by Ms. Whiteside. Any discussion?
It seems
All
odd that we'd only get two.
There's only two, yeah.
Yeah, there's only 2 late-night parties in town.
Only
This
two.
is early. It's only the 8th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
we-
would remind the public that we only have one more meeting.
This is what we got so far. And
Yeah.
under the 10-day policy, they're
They must get them in, yeah.
Right. Next meeting is the last one that you can
They have to-
increase your hours to later, so to
Okay.
speak, which
All
requires
in-
our permission.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400. All right, that's good. Next up is we need to renew, the renewal certificate for 2016, the ABCC.
You can make that motion, right?
Um,
Judy, are you just gonna pass the packet down?
I'm gonna pass the
to
whole thing
sign.
down as soon, I think, if it's okay with you, we'll probably just finish the business and
Yeah, we'll do
then
that.
Yeah,
sign
we're gonna-
afterwards, because
We'll
otherwise.
sign because.
This always turns into a
yeah,
signing party at the
Yes.
end of the
So
meeting.
much signing, we'll do it afterwards,
Yep.
yeah. Where it says on the, a matter of fact, I think it's on here, the authorization, don't we usually have it written down there, sign stuff? Yeah, signing of documents approved by
Mhm.
the board.
I guess our motion is the renewal certification for 2016.
Yep.
To the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission, ABCC Advisory. We hereby certify that the premises described in the 2016 renewal applications for the above-mentioned municipality are now occupied, used, or controlled by the licensee and will be on January 1st, 2016. The 2016 renewal applications have been approved by the local licensing authorities and forwarded to the ABCC.
Motion made by Ms. Whiteside.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Titlebaum. Any discussion?
Minus those two.
Minus those two.
Right,
Well,
and they're not on the list.
They-
Yes,
they're not on the
They're not
list.
on the list,
Okay.
okay?
okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400. All
And
right, temporary
now we
increase of
have-
residence population?
We have a document to the members of the ABCC, acting under the authority contained in MGL Chapter 138, Section 17 is amended. The undersigned local licensing authority at a meeting held on December 8th estimated that the temporary increased resident population of Wareham as of July 10th, 2016 will be 44,000. This estimate was made and voted upon by the undersigned at a meeting called for this purpose after due notice to each of the members of the time, place, and purpose of said meeting, and after investigation and ascertainment by us of all the facts and after cooperative discussion and deliberation. The estimate is true to the best of our knowledge and belief. The above statements are made under the penalties of perjury. I move that we sign this and send it.
Motion made by Ms. Whiteside, seconded by Mr. Titlebaum.
Yep.
Any discussion? All
Sounds
in
like a
favor,
lot of
say-
work.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous, 400. Very nice. All right, next up is any other town business not reasonably anticipated last 48 hours. Mr. Holmes.
No, sir.
Mr. Titlebaum.
None.
Mrs. Whiteside.
No, sir.
None. Mr. Sullivan. No, sir. Okay, then we'll move on from that. All right, we'll go, is there any bills to sign tonight?
No.
No? I
No,
guess he's not getting paid again
That's right.
this month, okay. Moving, approval of minutes for December 1?
I move the approval of the minutes as of December 1st, 2015, as supplied to you.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Whiteside, seconded by Mr. Titlebaum. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining.
Aye.
All right, so it's 301. All right, next up, Town Administrator's Report, please.
Mr. Chairman, we have received a letter from the Division of Local Services regarding the Community Compact, and I just asked I can read into the
You may.
record. Dear Town Administrator Sullivan, congratulations on entering into a community compact with the Baker-Polito administration. Community compacts create clear mutual standards, expectations, and accountability for both the state and municipalities, as together we seek to create better government for our citizens. We are excited to partner with Wareham as you implement your chosen best practices. Housing and economic development, preparing for success. There is a demonstrated ability to partner with the private sector, nonprofits, and public sector organizations in order to advance the housing and economic development visions and goals of the community, as evidenced by the successful completion of public-private nonprofit projects. So that's one of the first topics. The next step for this, for the town of Wareham, there may be several opportunities to explore related to their geographical location and coastal resources. The Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development will meet with town officials to identify 3 to 5 areas for potential development. Our contact is a Mr. Juan Vega of the HED, Assistant Secretary for Communities. The second one that we've chosen and are working with is financial management and financial policies. This best practice is achieved by evidence of documented fiscal policies, including reserve levels, capital financing, and use of free cash. We've already been contacted by Mr. Zach Blake of the Division of Local Services, and it looks on this project, we can anticipate starting meeting with them in mid-March, and it'd be approximately an 8-week process, and they've already given us a list of documentation that they would like us to secure for that initial meeting. So this is something that I think is excellent. Especially the community and economic development part. I was at the CETA meeting last night, and I gave this to the CETA board. I would like to see, make sure that when you're thinking about all the partners that we can work forward and get this moving for the town. The next topic is today I sent you an email announcing the Governor Baker's municipal modernization bill. I would request that you read through that. There's a breakdown of the bill from the MMA website.
I read it
That's
tonight.
really, it's excellent. Besides reading the whole bill, that might put you to sleep right
I
away.
read it tonight, actually, and
Well,
it's about time somebody comes to our aid.
this really, it puts some of the control, local control, if you will, back with the local government. And we've seen topics that have caused these issues before, and if you will, just calling them archaic, including what they called the year-end transfers or the Municipal Relief Act. I think we've seen this. It hasn't been as bad over the last year or so, but if you look, so this would be section 74 and 75. These sections eliminate the limits on types and amounts of appropriation transfers that can be made by the Selectmen with Finance Committee approval at end of year. This would allow end-of-year fiscal year transfers from health insurance, debt service, or other unclassified non-departmental line item appropriation and eliminate a cap of 3% on the amount that may be transferred from any department. I don't think people understand. We're often told to act like a business, but when you have such limits on your availability, I mean, I don't know of any other business that they can't transfer from within their line items when there's an issue or when there's an emergency. It's limited to 3%. So just some of these items from the Baker-Polito administration, this would be a huge help. And I would ask that if this board's in favor, perhaps at the next meeting, a topic, I would ask for letters of support to those that we need to get it to, such as the
Put
legislature.
it on the agenda for you.
All right, thank you.
You know, they really are doing a nice job, and they really have paid a lot of attention to Wareham. And I really have to voice my strong affirmative support for them as a team in general. They've done a really nice job for our community, for sure. All right, that's all you have?
One more to ask at the next meeting, we bring up the item. It's called the Community Development Strategy document. Every 3 years, you need to just review it and go through with it. We are behind on this because it needs to be sent out a month in advance of the February 12th deadline. It needs to be sent to the DHCD. It can be amended into the future, so it's not the document that is the be-all, end-all for the next 3 years. I would ask that
Gets on next agenda.
if it could, please.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, that's it for the town administrator's report. Let's move on to liaison reports. Mr. Holmes, you have any?
No, thank you.
No? Mr. Titlebaum?
Not so much by way of a liaison report, but I guess it is, in a sense. I sent out an email the other day to the president of WCTV asking to be on their January meeting agenda so that I could discuss some of our desires for enhanced programming and also enhanced broadcast facilities. So I would ask that next week we put that topic on our agenda so that I can go in there with your thoughts.
Okay.
That's all I have.
That's all you have?
Yep.
Ms. Whiteside?
Yes, I met with the Veterans Council and the library when they did their budget presentations. I sat in the room because I'm their liaison. I have to say that it was clear that both of those bodies had done a lot of work in terms of, projections and understanding the what goes on and what doesn't. Let's see. I don't know if this is a liaison report, but the Whiteside Black Hole continues to get better. We have one entire trailer load of stuff to be burn, baby, burn, of documents that we don't need to keep anymore. And I know that Mr. Sullivan thinks that I'm sort of a strange duck over that stuff, but it's an amazing amount of documents that have been sitting around in boxes and just, I don't know how anybody ever got at them.
We're running out of space anyway.
No, but the other thing is, and it brings it to mind, is that we really ought to have our departments being digitalized as much as humanly possible. And that's just, I
It's
would
a
throw that out
financial
to you.
issue, I'm sure.
No, I think,
Well, it's expensive to digitize.
yes, but I believe we have I will not speak for Mr. Underhill.
Yeah, hey, let's,
So, that's,
okay. All right, so I went to the school
I have one more.
presentation.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Mr. Titlebaum and I are guilty of littering. During the parade, we purposely threw wrapped candy at the crowds on the sides of the road. I apologize.
Oh, I'm going down to see if any's left.
It's all left.
I also apologize to the store owner on Main Street, who shall remain nameless, who accused me of drilling her in the leg with a Kit Kat bar.
I feel stripped my cigarette butt tonight before I got out of the car. I left it inside the car so it wouldn't be on the ground.
It's good, because we would know where it
As long as
went.
you weren't
That's
throwing,
right.
as long as you weren't throwing nips, we're all right.
We thought that that might be.
I got one here, you know.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right, so I went to the school presentation, the budget presentation. It was a very nice job done by the school department. We have some meetings now coming up with the school department now that I think they're voting on it tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night? They're voting on their budget? Yeah.
I believe so.
They'll be voting on the budget tomorrow night, and then, of course, it'll be what they present to the town administrator, and we'll be having some meetings with them right quickly here. When's the next one, the first one, Derek?
I think we've got something tentatively scheduled for Monday.
Monday, yeah, okay. So we'll be having some meetings, not with you guys, but with,
I
it'll
thought
be,
I was on that.
it's Monday afternoon, I believe, late. So we'll be having some meetings and so on, and trying to finalize that portion of the budget, and see how it works with the rest of the budget. I think one of the things that I want to kind of point out about the budget that I think people are taking for granted, I mean, Derek's done a really good job of sort of reining stuff in a little bit and getting us sort of keeping us on track. And in doing so, people look around and say, well, we must have some money. There must be a lot of money around. Well, in fact, there isn't. Every year there's always less, just so everybody knows. The 2.5 formula is way too small for the amount of money that we need, even for the school department. The school department alone, in salaries, is somewhere around $800,000 an increase, and I think that's around what we get in 2.5 formula, right? 800,000 to 900,000. So that's sort of gone right out of the box if everything remains status quo, not counting paper and pencils that go up, and the cost of salaries on the town side, and so on and so forth. So there really isn't any money. We're doing the best we can with what we have. I want everybody to understand that. And we've done a pretty good job. As a matter of fact, we've done an excellent job. But, someday it's going to come to the point where we no longer can keep Band-Aiding this stuff. It's going to happen, whether we like it or not. I said it last year. I'm going to tell you again. Every year it's going to be less and less and less and less. And we're doing more with less. And we're shuffling things around, reorganizing departments. We're mixing things. We're trying to share people across the aisle with the school department and so on in order to save money. We're doing lots of things to try to save more and more dollars so that we can do what people have asked us to do. But please don't think that we all of a sudden could pay for everything. I know. I get these emails almost on a daily basis, and of course everybody's driven by what affects them, whatever it is. So they should think there's enough money for what I need, what I have. This is my issue, and lots of times we have to say there just isn't. And it's not that it's not that we want to say that. Lots of the things you bring in front of us, and lots of the things we get for emails about streetlights and about this and that, are all relevant. And if we had the money, we'd take care of them all. We just would. We live here too, all of us up here, even though we're selectmen, and for some reason or another we're not really citizens anymore, I guess, when you become a selectman, or it appears that way. Even though that's the case, we live here. We want this to be the best community that it possibly be, because we live here. I lived here a long time. We all do. And so we're doing the best we can, but please don't think that all of a sudden there's just a lot of money around and that it's going to be just the taps are going to open up and it's going to flow, because it isn't there. I just want everybody to know that going into this budget cycle, because there will be some more cuts. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, I do have one more liaison report. The Wetland Bylaw Study Committee had its first meeting on Thursday night. Jan Kendrick from the Zoning Board of Appeals, an attorney, was selected as the chairman, and they stuck yours truly as clerk. So it's some kind of punishment for something I haven't figured out for what sin yet.
I have.
All right. That brings us to the last line of the document here. Does anybody want to?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Holmes, seconded by Mr. Titlebaum. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. Thank you, Wareham. We'll see you next week. And by the way, that'll be our last meeting. We will be skipping the next meeting
For the
because it'll be
year.
Christmas week. And we'll skip the week after that because it's right before New Year's. So those 2 weeks we will be off, okay? Thank you.